guys, it's Megan. Welcome back to another video. Welcome back to my house. Today we are reading for 24 hours straight, and not really. That's a lie. This vlog is a lie. I'm going to use a timer, and I'm going to time myself a full 24 hours. I have to stop because I have a baby. I can't read for 24 hours straight because I have to, pick him up from daycare later and hang out with him and put him to bed and then get some sleep in case he doesn't sleep well, and it'll be a whole thing. So I'm cheating and doing what I've seen other YouTubers do, and I'm going to read for literally 24 hours, and we're going to see how many books I can read in 24 hours. I am starting with some, what time is it? It's 1:40 p.m. on a Friday, and I'm starting with some coffee, which I've already had some of, and now it's cold. It's like cold brew. I made my own cold brew. It's from a gas station, and it only cost $1.50, so it's way better than Starbucks. Hopefully they'll help me stay up till like maybe 10 or 11, which for me is insanely late. So let's talk about the books I'm going to read in this vlog. I brought a bunch of short books home from school, and I already had one, and then I'm going to read one ebook. And I don't know if I can read all 6 of these. It's just for fun to see how many of these short books I can read in 24 hours. So let's just go through them really quickly, because I've got some little ravioli things to snack on in the oven, and I'll have to go get them in like 5 minutes. So I'm going to read Remote Control by Nnedi Okorafor, something like that. Anyway, super short. Some sort of sci-fi, maybe a series, not sure. May not be actually. Oh, and I think she lives in Cincinnati, which is cool because I live, like an hour from Cincinnati. So that's really awesome. It's only about 150 pages. I'm also going to read, well, actually, let's do it in order. I'll probably read that one first. Well, actually, I'm going to read the ebook first. So I'll show you that one in a minute. Then I'm going to read that one. Then I'm probably going to read Every Heart a Doorway by Seanan McGuire, because I really want to read all of the fantasy sci-fi type books first, because I've been reading like contemporaries for the vlog I just did not too long ago, and I'm so done with them, and I don't want to read any more contemporary. So I'm going to read the fantasy and sci-fi, but I'm going to read Every Heart a Doorway by Seanan McGuire. Also super short. It's the first of a series called the Wayward Children series, about what happens after kids come back from other worlds. Like if you went to Neverland and then you came back and you didn't get to go back again, or you went to Wonderland and then you came back, then what happens to you? And it's like these wayward children, I suppose. So yeah, we'll start the first one. I don't know if I'll ever continue, but we'll see. We're about 170 pages on this one. Then I'm also going to read a very short light novel that my husband bought me for Christmas last year. Yeah, there we go. Actually, should I read this one? Maybe I won't read this one. I don't know, because I want to do a vlog of reading all the books my husband bought me for Christmas. No, I think I will read it. But this book is called The Melancholy Haruhi Suzumiya. I don't know. I have no idea what it's about, except that maybe it's like fantasy. Something about the person has the power to destroy the universe. I don't know. All I know is it's a light novel, and I've never read one before, so that might be fun. I'm also going to read a couple, ow, that hurt. I cut my lip on the edge of this book. Anyway, Vinyl Moon by Mahogany Brown. That has to be a made up name. Mahogany Brown, are you serious? That's not a name. No, I don't believe it. Her name's not Mahogany Brown. I'll look her up later and see. Looks like she's a poet, blah, blah, blah. This is a book that I would never normally read, but it's told partially in verse, so I think it'll be really super fast to read. Looks like it's got some water damage. I didn't do it. It was not me, even though this book... Oh, it's been checked out once, so it must be the kid that checked it out. We'll blame that person. Anyway, it's only about 150 pages, and I believe it's set in, like, the 80s? I don't know. I know it's not set in our time period. It's set sometime in the past, and... It's weaves together prose, poems, and vignettes to tell the story of Angel, a young woman whose past was shaped by domestic violence, but whose love of language and music and the gift of community grant her the chance to find herself again. That sounds like nothing I would ever normally read. I'm so done with contemporary realistic fiction, but I guess we're going to give it a try because it's short. And then the other physical book I have is The Year I Stopped Trying, a novel by Katie Heaney. This one is a little bit longer than the other ones, so we'll see if I actually get around to reading it, because this one's almost 250 pages, so definitely the only one, I guess, over 200 pages. But we're gonna give it a try if we get through all the other ones. We'll save this one till last. But I picked this one because I think I'd actually like the plot. It's about a girl who realizes that she doesn't have to try so hard. She always wanted to make straight A's and do everything perfect, and one time she forgets a test and forgets to study for it, and I guess bombs it or something, and realizes, or no, forgets to do a history assignment, sorry, she forgets to do an essay, and then nothing happens. She doesn't burst into flames, the world doesn't end, the teacher doesn't even pull her aside. So she says, why am I trying so hard? Then what if I just stop? So it says heaps of dark humor and her signature wit, so that sounds fun. And I think I was this person before because I always had to have perfect grades and straight A's, and now I'm like, I just don't care if stuff is perfect anymore. I think I've gone from a type A to a type B personality, or I'm in the transition right now, so this will be fun to read because I might relate to the main character. And then the first book I'm going to read, which I'm going to go start right now, is A Spindle Splintered by Alex E. Harrow. I read The 10,000 Doors of January by this author last year and gave it like 3 stars. It was very mediocre, and I'm kind of scared to start this one because it's about Sleeping Beauty, who is my all-time favorite like princess. And I know most people don't even, like, nobody would say she's her favorite princess, but she's their favorite princess because she's, I don't know, she's kind of blah, honestly. But I loved the story when I was little. I loved Maleficent. I love the movie. So, well, really, let's be real. I loved Maleficent. That's why. So this should be fun. I think it's pretty short. I've got the ebook right now, and it's only like 200 pages on the ebook. And I think that's like with big font, so it may be like 100 pages. So we're going to start the timer here in a minute. I'll show you when I start it, and we're going to go start this book. But first, let's get another sip of coffee. We sound like Brandon Fraser on The Mummy ride, where he's like, something about, I got to get my cup of coffee. That's what I got to do. Okay, here we go. We're going to start A Spindle Splintered. I'm going to start the timer. Also, I tried to use the exact colors from this to change that lamp into the bluish color and this lamp into the red. So, you know, we got the ambiance going here with the, with the cover. All right, are we ready? Reading for 24 hours, starting now. Alexa, set the lights to green. Ooh, green. You want to do it again? Okay. Alexa, set the lights to hot pink. Yeah. Do you want to do it again? Do you want to do blue? Okay. Alexa, set the lights to blue. Blue. That's blue. Do you want to do orange? Do you want to do red? Okay. Alexa, set the lights to red. Red. It's red. Okay, guys, I'm at Barnes & Noble, and this book is here on the 11th. It's not supposed to come out until the 14th, so I'm really confused because this is a sequel to the book I'm reading right now. Should I buy it? It's really short, obviously, but it's still quite expensive. Not quite expensive, but, you know, it's like 18 bucks or whatever it is. Let's see. Yeah, $19 for this tiny little book, so I don't think I can pay that, but anyway, it's not supposed to be out, but here it is. So, update. We are an hour and 58, basically almost 2 hours in to our 24 hours, and we have finished our first book, which was A Spindle Splintered by Alex E. Harrow. And this was my only ebook, although I may go ahead and read the sequel if I can get it. I think theoretically the ebook for the second one, which is called A Mirror Mended, was not supposed to come out yet, but as you saw in the previous clip, I saw it at a bookstore already. So if I can find the ebook, that's going to be awesome because I loved this book. I gave this book 4 stars. The only reason I didn't give it 5 stars is just because, I don't know, it wasn't like my favorite thing ever, and it has to be like one of my favorite books of all time to be a 5-star, basically. But it was really super good. Alex E. Harrow has redeemed herself for me because I did not like, or I thought it was very mediocre, 10,000 Doors of January. The writing was really pretty in that book, but like the plot just wasn't really there for me. It was very slow paced and it just wasn't what I wanted. But in this one, it was super fast because obviously it's a novella. It's super, super short. It only took me 2 hours to read it. And I'm a pretty slow reader, which is shocking to everyone. I feel like how slow of a reader I am. I read about a minute per page. I don't know. Maybe that's not slow. I guess that's just average. But anyway, so this book was way better than I anticipated. I love Sleeping Beauty. So I thought it was just some sort of plain Sleeping Beauty retelling, but actually it's like very modern day, you know, like there's references to modern day stuff in it. And yeah, it's about this girl who is dying basically of this really strange rare disease. She lives in Ohio, which of course I live really close to Ohio. And I found out that the author lives in Kentucky, so where I'm from, which is very exciting. Anyway, so the girl's dying and she winds up accidentally going to another dimension because her friend does Sleeping Beauty themed party in a tower and has a spinning wheel, and she pricks her finger on it, and it turns out that there's something called narrative resonance, I guess, which is like one of the theories of the multiverse, which is like that you have a similar story to other people, and therefore that's how you accidentally get transported to another universe because you have a similar story to what someone else is going through. So she winds up going to like another Sleeping Beauty and helping to rescue her, and then they find some other Sleeping Beauties, and I don't want to tell you about them because they're awesome. And there's like this like fight scene at the end and against the prince, and it's very feminist, you know, like girl power. The Sleeping Beauties are doing their thing and fighting against the prince, and you know, maybe Maleficent, which, oh yeah, I got my Maleficent shirt out. Never thought I'd be able to fit into this puppy again, but been, you know, working out and running. Anyway, we're gonna take a big run tomorrow morning, which I'm super excited about, and I'll have to tell you about it as I go because it's the first time I will ever run 4.5 miles. I'm training for a 10K, and tomorrow I'm moving up to 4.5. So we'll see how that goes. So next book. So that one was a 4-star. That's really good. Here are the books that are left on the TBR for possibly this video. We'll see, like I said, how many I can get through in 24 hours. But if it only takes me a few hours for each one, I should be able to get through pretty much all these, I would think. But I am still in the mood. I don't want to do Every Heart a Doorway yet because A Spindle Splintered seems very similar. You know, so I just, you know, going to other worlds and stuff. And anyway, I think we'll do sci-fi. So I have no idea what this book is about, but I think I should go in relatively blind. I don't know. Should we read this? Let's just read this really quickly. It says, she's the adopted child of the angel of death. Beware of her, mind her. Death guards her like one of its own. The day Fatima forgot her name, or is it Fatima? I think it's Fatima. Death paid, because that's a character name from The Alchemist, which I love The Alchemist. Death paid a visit. Okay, interesting. From this moment on, she would be known as Sankofa, a name that meant nothing to anyone but her, the only tie to her family and her past. Her touch is death, and with a glance, a town can fall. Ooh. And she walks alone, except for her fox companion. Well, that sounds cool. Searching for the object that came from the sky and gave itself to her when the meteors fell and when she was yet unchanged, searching for answers. But is there greater purpose for Sankofa now that death is her constant companion? Well, I like that it doesn't give much away from that. Like, I still don't know what the plot's actually going to be about. But let's see how many pages it is. It is this still the actual book? You know how sometimes at the end there's like other stuff? No, the book literally goes until the end. And it is 159 pages. So let's see how long it takes us. If I read a page per minute, theoretically it'll be 159 minutes. We'll see. So yeah, let's go start this one and I'll let you know how it goes. All right. I actually should be going to bed right now, but I really just want to start this book. So I'm just going to read a few pages. We're going to go ahead and press start, and we're going to open our book and get started because I want to, even though I need to go to bed just in case the baby has a bad night. But start. Okay. Here we go. Oh. Okay. She's written a lot of other things. I did not know that. Oh, the Akata Witch series. I've heard of that. Binti series. I've heard of that. Is this a series? I don't think so. I think this might be a standalone, which actually is pretty cool. 2020. So, all right. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm about to go to bed, but I just have to say, I just read 26 pages of this in like 15 minutes, so at least there's that. But oh my gosh, this book is crazy. I read the first chapter. I don't even know. Like, she's like death and kills people, and everybody knows who she is, but there's also like Teslas, but it's in Ghana, and she's like more dressed in like tribal outfits, and there's a fox that's like her pet, and there's a lot of bugs, and she just killed somebody kind of, but she doesn't mean to, but like she does. And people, like I said, people know who she is. She's like a legend, and she's walking somewhere and she's not allowed to get in a car, and like, but it's called Remote Control. So somehow it's going to be like sci-fi, even though it seems more fantasy. I don't know. First chapter, I'm super impressed. Never would have thought I'd like a short book, but I am loving short books. And yeah, I cannot wait to keep reading this because that first chapter was crazy and it was so well written. The writing was great. I'm going to keep going. Chewing it. I'm going to eat your finger. Wish me luck. I'm gonna go run 4.5 miles, which is the most I've ever run in my entire life. Right now, 4 is the most I've ever run. So I'm gonna go run 4.5 miles, but I have to do it on the treadmill because it got too hot outside. I didn't get to go this morning because it was raining and it was a whole thing. But anyway, I'm gonna go run 4.5 miles. I'm gonna listen to some of my audiobook, which is the Atlas 6, which is not part of this vlog or anything, but that's what I'm listening to, and I'm like 8% done. So I'm pretty intrigued, but it's gonna take me forever to run 4.5 miles. So I'm probably also gonna watch some booktube videos. I just had to tell you because I'm scared. I'm nervous, and we'll see how it goes. Sorry for the loud music in the background. My husband's listening to music on our record player. Anyway, this vanilla sweet cream cold brew, amazing. So let's finish that. I didn't drink all this today. I promise some of it was from yesterday. I'm at 3.5 hours and I'm on page 110. So I'm about 70% done. So let's go finish this book. Did you? Oh, error. Uh-oh. Error. Did you? Error. It says error. Oh, you turned it off? There you go. Now do it. It's bedtime, and I thought I would update you before I go to sleep. Well, which is probably like in an hour, but you know, still close enough. So we're at 4 hours and 7 minutes, which I'm like, oh my gosh, we're only a sixth of the way through this. But I've read 2 books already, so fingers crossed I get through a lot more. But anyway, I just finished, well, a while ago, I finished Remote Control by Nydia Okorafor. I wound up giving this 3.5 stars. So I don't even know how to describe my issue with it. Basically, it provided too many answers, but also not enough answers. I don't know if that makes any sense at all, but that's what I thought as I was reading this, is that I wanted very specific answers to certain things. I don't even want to tell you what, because I feel like it would give stuff away, but like there's an organization that is hinted at that wants her and this like strange seed thing that she has found that gives her her powers. And I wanted to know more about that organization, and yet we got no answers about them. We have they're called Life Gen. Who are they? What do they want? What do they know? Where is this seed from? Apparently it's, well, it literally tells you it's like an alien thing from another planet. What's going on with that? No answers about that. However, you get all the answers about her backstory. Like the first chapter was so mysterious because she seemed so mysterious. And then the whole rest of the book just gives you the clear-cut answers. Here's what happened to her. Here's where she's from. Here's what happened. Here's the seed. Here's what happens in the end. Boom. Done. So somehow I got all the wrong answers, I guess. I wanted it to be more mysterious about some parts about her, but I wanted more answers about the stuff going on. Anyway, but I like the atmosphere. I do think it's maybe mismarketed a little bit because it's marketed as sci-fi, but it's more folktale fantasy, I guess you would say. So while I would give the first chapter like 5 stars, and I had such high hopes, by the end there were a couple scenes that even dragged on. I don't even know if that makes any sense because it's so short. But there were a couple scenes, and I even at the very like last chapter or two, I thought, how is this book about to end? There needs to be more pages because I need more answers, and then it just ended. So I don't know. There's no sequel, nothing. I'm not quite sure what I'm supposed to get from it. Maybe I'm just too stupid, but I feel like there was supposed to be more of a lesson than there was in this story that maybe I'm just not getting it. But anyway, that's my thoughts so far on, well, so far, I guess I have to think about it a little bit more, but those are my thoughts on Remote Control. And now I was supposed to start a light novel, but my library loan for Kingdom Keepers, oh, it disappeared. I don't know where it went. Yeah, there we go. Disney After Dark just came in. So I'm actually going to pause and read this. It's about 300 pages, but the font is like massive on this device, this little tablet thing I'm reading on. I'll show you. So instead of reading the light novel, I think I'm going to read this, but it's really probably only, well, here, I'll show you. That's how big the font is. So probably like 200 pages, if that. So I'm going to still count this as a really short book. And yeah, we're going to start this right now. I have no idea what it's about. I think it's like a little, kid, like middle school level mystery or thriller or something. I'll let you know more once I start it because I have no idea what it's about, but the fact that it takes place at Magic Kingdom, I had no idea that this existed. And I love Disney, and my husband's the one that told me about these books, and I was like, why have you never told me that these existed? How have I never seen these like in a box set at Disney World? Because there's like 7 of them or something. Anyway, I'm gonna start it right now and I'll let you know how it is. So I may or may not have just gotten totally distracted on YouTube, but I'm back to starting this book and I'm gonna press start right now. I promise. Watch me. Have to make sure I actually do it. So I have to film it. Okay, here we go. So you just have to see this. We have a million flavors now of bubbly water, and I'm so excited. It came with like multiple flavors. Ooh, blueberry pomegranate. Let's try this one. I lied. It looks like I've already been having that flavor in something else. Strawberry? Yeah, let's do strawberry. So just a really quick update, and we're gonna try our seltzer water. So this is the strawberry bubbly. I can't imagine that strawberry bubbly wouldn't be amazing. It's not as strawberry flavored as I thought. Like, it's more subtle. Like, it's definitely strawberry. It's obviously not sweet. It's not bad. But quick update. So I am about to possibly DNF the Atlas 6 that I've been listening to as an audiobook. I'm 41% and I just don't care about the characters or anything that's happening because honestly, it's just meandering and nothing's actually happening. So maybe I'll try to get to 50% and see what I feel from there. But it's like also super long. Anyway, Kingdom Keepers. Let's talk about Disney After Dark here. So I'm only like 23% of the way and it's so fun. I actually really like it. I saw terrible reviews for this on Goodreads and I think you just have to love Disney. All I care about really are the parks. Like, I don't care about the set, the setting. That's the only thing I care about. I don't care about the characters or the plot. The plot is weird, to say the least, because it's about a boy who gets hired to sort of film himself as this like holographic image at Disney World, and so do 4 other people. So there's 5 of them total, and they have their holographic selves now at, like, he's at Magic Kingdom, and so he's not allowed to go to Magic Kingdom because it would throw off, the illusion if somebody saw him, because he's also an illusion there. But anyway, in his dreams at night, he wakes up as his hologram at night in the Magic Kingdom. And apparently there's these things called overtakers that are like bad. They're gonna, I guess, try to take over, because it's probably why they're called overtakers. And supposedly Walt knew about them, and he's, I don't know, somehow the main character is gonna have to team up with the other 4 of these holographic, the people that film these holographic images, and go and try to, I don't know, get rid of the villains, whoever they are. But Maleficent's on the front, looming over the castle. So I'm wondering if she's going to be like one of the really bad villains. So I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, I'm going to go keep reading. Just a quick update on my drink situation. I've switched to the Pink Monster, which is the best monster, because I don't know about you, but I feel like I'm going to need more caffeine. Isn't that always the case? This is Ash using a spoon. He's 16 months today, and this boy can use a spoon. Do it again. Use that spoon. Oh, you turned it sideways. Try again. He's got it kind of sideways. Oh, okay, he's done. Okay, it's literally bedtime now, but I finished Kingdom Keepers, Disney After Dark. Is it called, I don't know which one it's called. Is the whole series called Disney After Dark, or is the whole series called Kingdom Keepers? I think the whole series is called Disney After Dark, but I'm not even sure. Anyway, I just finished it. I gave it 3 stars. It got kind of cheesy. I really liked the premise at first, but I don't know. It just, I say dragged on. I know it wasn't even that long, but excuse me. I wasn't just a huge fan of the characters, I guess. Like, they were fine. It was very middle school, but I've read other middle grades that are way more like magical and fun. This is like somebody just tried too hard to incorporate Disney stuff. In fact, the ending was so cheesy with like fireworks at the castle that just sort of light up and this magic like washes over the park and you're like, oh my gosh. And of course, Maleficent's the villain, but she's not really. Like, there's gonna be more villains in the rest of the series. But yeah, I don't know. I'll probably read it just because it's set at Disney World, but honestly, if you don't care about the setting, then you will not like this book because the writing wasn't great, the characters weren't great, everything was very mediocre. In fact, it was more like a 2-star, but I'm only giving it a 3-star because of my enjoyment factor, only because I do like Disney. I'm just really into Disney lately for some reason. I'm even buying a bunch of Loungeflies, Disney Loungeflies. We just bought more. I think I have 3 now, but there's 2 more that I want. So I'm going to wind up with like 5 when I had none. And I've got 3 pairs of ears. And anyway, let's talk about the time. I'm at 7 hours and 48 minutes in. So in less than 8 hours now, I've read 3 books. And my plan now is to read, I think, what's it called? The Year I Stopped Trying or whatever, even though it's a little bit longer and I was going to read it last because I'm kind of in the mood. Now I've read like some fantasy and some sci-fi for this. I'm kind of ready for some realistic fiction. No more like fairy tale type things. I'm done with that for a little bit. So I'm just kind of a quick update. My audiobook, I DNF'd it. I was listening to the Atlas 6 and it's just boring. So I DNF'd that. And I just got a loan for another physical book that I'm going to have to start reading. So anyway, I will update you hopefully tomorrow when I start reading that. Oh, I'm back. I just have to clarify. Disney After Dark is the name of this book. I thought it was going to be the name of the series, but no, the series is called it's called Kingdom Keepers, and I had it wrong because the next one's called something like Disney at Dawn. So anyway, I just wanted to clarify that I was wrong and did not know the name of this book. Okay, it's the next morning. My library loan came in for my best friend's exorcism. I don't know if I should include it in this video or not because it's not necessarily a short book. I think it's like 360 pages, but on this device, look how many pages it is. What are the chances? I just had to show you this. That's so creepy. Okay. Anyway, this is like an 80s Stranger Things, I think sort of, horror, but also funny because it says if it had been written by if The Exorcist had been written by Tina Fey, this is kind of what it would be like. And I think it's young adult, maybe? I don't know. Should I include this in this vlog? I'll think about it. Okay. Yes, we're going to have to include this in the vlog because not only the page numbers, but also look at the chapter titles. The chapter titles are all 80 songs. Oh my gosh. And there's a Spotify playlist to go with this. This is so funny. And it even started with like a fake yearbook page or something. Oh my gosh, look at that. It's a fake yearbook page. I just love this Spotify playlist though. This is crazy. Okay, I'm so tired. I ran 5 miles this morning and I'm exhausted. And also I didn't sleep very well because the baby kept waking up. So anyway, here we are. I'm just gonna try to get through this little clip because I feel like I have to do a clip because I am 50% through this book. I've read so much in a short amount of time of this book. It's really good. I might even buy this. Like, I feel like I need to own this because on the inside there's, like pictures and like newspaper articles and stuff that I don't think I'm getting the full effect of on the screen. But anyway, super good. It does remind me of like Stranger Things. I'm finally just now getting to the really, I don't even know if it's scary, like the scary part. And I'm literally 50% in. So obviously it's not very scary. It's more just like 80s nostalgia until about 40% in. Nothing bad even happens until then. So is there gonna be like a creepy clown? That almost looks like a creepy clown and like creepy little balloons. I don't know, I can't tell. Anyway, this makes me want to watch Stranger Things season 4 because I haven't watched it yet and I need to. So I might even start it today too. But anyway, I'm gonna go read some more of this while I eat my chicken minis from Chick-fil-A because yes, I'm eating those for breakfast or lunch, even though they're a breakfast food. But I do need some energy because I've had no caffeine today and it's almost 1 o'clock, which is crazy. But it's just, I've just been too tired to even get up to get any caffeine. Okay, so let's go eat lunch and try to read some more of this book. And it's once again bedtime. But I had to tell you that I'm now 12 hours into reading 24 hours and I've basically finished 3 whole books and like 75% of another book. I think actually I'm on like 76% of this one. So I'm doing pretty good, but I'm still reading this. I'm about 76% through My Best Friend's Exorcism, and I am still loving it. I was going to go try to read more. I even wanted to finish it tonight, but I'm still so tired. I'm so sleepy. I haven't read too much this evening because I've been dealing with the baby and stuff, but oh my gosh, I just, tomorrow I am not running, so that's exciting. I need a break after running 5 miles. But Zach and I, after we take the baby to daycare, we're going to go do an escape room, just the 2 of us, so I don't know. We'll see if we get out. I'll have to show you. I'll probably be embarrassed because we probably won't since there's only 2 of us, but maybe they'll help us more with the clues. And then we're going to go get some pizza, and then we're going to go to the chiropractor, and we have back-to-back appointments. Oh, thank goodness, because my back is killing me from all this running. I just want this 10K. I think I've probably told you, but yeah, I'm training for a 10K, and I've never done a 10K, and I'm gonna do one, and then I can say I did it, and then I'm done. Anyway, so I'm 12 hours in. I'm really enjoying this book. This is definitely gonna be a 4-star read. Like, I can tell already, like, this is a 4-star book. It like drives me nuts that no one believes the main character about what's going on. And right now she's at her wit's end, has like no one to help her for her friend who she thinks is possessed. And at first I didn't know it was gonna be like maybe more metaphorical and her friend wasn't actually going to be possessed, but I mean, it's pretty clear that she is actually possessed. And there's definitely some creepy stuff in here, but it's not like very scary. And it's definitely more like Stranger Things-esque. So yeah, I think I might even get this for the school library. It's, you know, I think young adults would definitely like it like a lot, because I mean the kids in this book are sophomores in high school. So anyway, I will keep you updated as I read more, and we'll see if maybe I can just sit down and just power through and read for hours at a time to get through this 24 hours. Okay, let's do an update. I finished My Best Friend's Exorcism last night, and it got like creepy at the end and dark. I mean, I guess I don't know what I expected, but the first part was not creepy and dark, but then it got creepy and dark. And the end, I mean, there were like some serious stakes going on, like some high stakes stuff, for sure. And it didn't end quite the way I thought it was going to. It actually was kind of sad. I mean, it was happy yet sad. Anyway, I still enjoyed it and gave it 4 stars. Sorry, I gave it 4 stars. And I might even buy, I don't know. I was thinking about buying this book because I wanted to have, you know, all the extra stuff in it where it's got the yearbook pages and the pictures and stuff. But now I'm not so sure. I might not do that. So the reason why we're just sitting here in the car is because I just dropped the baby off at daycare, and now I'm going to do allergy testing, which I've done once before, but apparently, you know, your allergies change every so often. So I'm redoing it, and I'm gonna see what I'm allergic to, especially food-wise, because I break out in hives sometimes randomly if I'm not taking like antihistamines, and I don't want to have to live on antihistamines because that seems crazy. So I'm gonna see what kind of foods I'm allergic to. But while I'm sitting here in the car, I'm going to start reading The Year I Stopped Trying by Katie Henney. So I was going to save this one to last originally because it was bigger than all the other small little novellas I wanted to read. But I do think it'll be a fast read because there's not very many words per page, which is kind of what I always go by. So I just don't think it's not very dense. You know, it's not going to take very long. Look at the spacing in here. It's, you know, a lot of space. So anyway, I'm going to start this because it's realistic fiction and it's young adult. So it's going to be super easy. And I know it's about I think I already told you this, but it's about a girl who doesn't do like one homework assignment or something and realizes that it's not the end of the world. Is it homework? Yeah, she forgets to do a history assignment and then she realizes nothing bad happens because of it. So it says it's actually a funny book, dark humor, and this author has a signature wit, so that sounds good. So I'm in the mood for something kind of funny and light, especially after kind of the serious ending of My Best Friend's Exorcism. So anyway, we're going to start this and we're going to see how we go. We're at like, I don't have my timer with me, but I'll set a timer on my phone instead. But we're at like 13 and a half hours or something into this. I'm kind of like regretting the idea of doing 24 hours because it's taking forever because I'm not getting to read very much at a time, because honestly, I picked the wrong time to do this vlog. Like, let's be real. I should have picked a time where I could just sit down for hours and read, but I picked a time where I am like the busiest this summer, which, I mean, it's the summer. I shouldn't even be this busy, but here we are. Anyway, I'm going to go start this book and wait on my appointment. I am 60 pages in, and I like it. It's, oh my gosh, I had, I guess, such low expectations. I'm like, ugh, contemporary young adult, this is gonna be so bad. But I relate to this main character so well. Like, she's trying everything now to not be as good, like, you know, to not be as successful and like a type A personality and everything. And she's trying to be worse at everything and not do her homework and skip classes. And she's like mad at herself because sometimes she still like apologizes or she still winds up doing stuff anyway. And she's like, oh man, but I'm just learning to not care though. So it's just gonna take me a while. And yeah, the conversations are funny. The banter is very witty. I don't know, the word choices, there's definitely some funny stuff in here. But one thing I do really like about this book is that the plot synopsis here at the beginning, it basically happens pretty much right off the bat. Like, it doesn't take forever to get started. I've had issues before, like with Mary Lou's book, what was it called? Not Wild Card, whatever the first one is, Warcross. With Warcross, like the plot synopsis here is like the first 25% of the book. So I was bored for the first 25% of the book because this stuff was still happening. And I was like, okay, I already know that this is gonna happen. Now let's get to the part I don't know about yet. But right now, we're already past this. So I don't know what's going to happen. And I like that. Like, I have no idea what's going to happen in the rest of this book. I kind of can see where it's going, but like, I don't know how it's going to get there. So anyway, I will keep you updated and I am enjoying this book. Oh, time-wise, let us see where we're at because I need to just sit down and just finish this thing. But we've still got like 10 hours to go. So, oh my gosh, we're eventually going to get done. Okay, a lot's happened since I last talked to you. So we're at 19 and a half hours. We only have 4.5 hours left to read. Hallelujah. I just kind of want this to be done at this point, honestly. I don't know why. I mean, I was going to read all these books anyway, but something about just having to read them all in such quick succession. I've read a lot since I last talked to you. I don't know where I was when I was reading this one, but I did finish it and I gave it 4 stars. It was good. It had some like existential moments in it. I wish there was a quote that I would read you, and I read it to my husband and like I can never find it. But there's some existential stuff in here, some really good quotes about like life and like putting things into perspective, and like why you shouldn't work too hard basically. So I really like that. I really like the writing style. It was very witty. It was very funny. I didn't care so much about some of the drama, but I know that has to be in there for like young adults, you know, like the boyfriend, girlfriend drama stuff was something that I really didn't care about, but you know, it was there. Oh, here it is. I've been thinking that the central dilemma of my existence was that I'm here and don't know why, but maybe I had that backward. I may not know why, but I'm here. And then it's like, okay, so we might as well just do this and have fun, you know? So I like that way of looking at things. I think that's a really cool lesson to learn. It does come right out and kind of tell you some of the lessons, but it is sort of about a girl having an existential crisis. And I do really like it because I used to be a very much type A personality and I can relate to a lot of what she says in here. And I'm going to take a lot of it to heart, actually. I think I've even learned some lessons from reading this. So really super funny, witty, dry humor, which I really, really enjoyed. Great writing. I would read definitely more from this author, and I'm excited to see what else she has. Okay, next, I actually just finished reading Every Heart a Doorway, which I've not even told you anything about. I just read it in 2 sittings, which you could read it in one, definitely. It was only 169 pages. And basically, if you don't know anything about this book, it is about a not magical, but like a school that has sort of magical children that go to it. And it's not what you think. It's not just like, oh, another magical school like Hogwarts. No, this is a school for children who have, it says, disappeared under the right conditions, like slipping through the shadows under a bed or at the back of a wardrobe, tumbling down rabbit holes like Alice in Wonderland, or into old wells and emerging somewhere else. But magical lands have little need for used up miracle children. So it's like, what happens when they come back? Some of them want to go back to their magical worlds that they came from, and some of them don't. So they go to different schools. This is set in the school where people, the students there want to get back to their magical worlds. They're desperate to. They hate the real world and they want to find their doorway back, but very few ever do find their doorway back. So they have to just learn to live in our blah, boring world, which they hate compared to their magical fantasy worlds. So the headmistress kind of this society or this school, she's sort of like a Dumbledore type figure. She's older. She was one of these children, but unlike most of the other ones, her door has stayed open. She knows where it is and she can come and go as she wants, which is really unique. But the main character's name is Nancy, and she has just recently come back from another world, and she goes to this school for the first time and gets introduced to it. So her character is honestly, she was a pretty interesting character, but really her character is just to get introduced to this world so that we can be, the reader can be introduced to this world, because there's a whole series of these books that all follow different characters, even in different time periods, but they all relate to this school and to these like magical children, or these children that have come back from magical worlds. So this wound up being the first like, well, I guess that's why there is a part, there's like a part 1 and part 2. Part 1, the first like half or third, basically, first 62 pages is just the setup and like what the school's like. Then it went somewhere that I did not expect, and it got really gruesome and turned into a murder mystery. Like a student is found with her hands cut off and she's dead. A student is found with her eyes gouged out and she's obviously dead too. And then some other things happen and you're like, whoa, this did not, I didn't, this, you know, every hearted doorway, magical worlds. And then it's like, eyes gouged out. And you're like, whoa. So, well, they're not gouged out. They were kind of precisely surgically removed for a purpose. But anyway, they have to figure out who's doing this and why. And is it one of the other magical children? Is it somebody that's sort of like in charge of the institute? You don't know who it is. I kind of saw it coming, so it was like kind of predictable, but I actually really enjoyed this and I will continue the series. I didn't expect to like it that much because I read her other book, Middle Game, and I did not like it at all. I don't understand the hype for that book. It was not good. But this book, I gave it 4 stars and I'm going to keep going with the series. And I saw that two of my favorite characters who were interesting, they were kind of bad basically, and they're twins. I don't want to tell you what happens to them, but I thought their story was over. However, it turns out the second book in the series is just their story. So I'm actually really excited to read that because I enjoyed their characters. And now we are on to, I was going to say our last book. I mean, it's technically the last book I had planned for this. I do have another book though that I got from the library because I actually think I'm going to need it since I have 4.5 hours left to read. So this is not going to take me 4.5 hours. So we're going to try to read 2 more books in that 4.5 hours. We are going to read Vinyl Moon by Mahogany Browne, which is only like 160 pages or something. And there are some pages that are, well, I think I already showed you this, like this. Not very many words per page. Not all of it's written like that, but some of it is. So some of it has quite a few words per page though. But anyway, this is not my type of thing. It's somewhat historical, I think, like historical, realistic fiction. Not anything I would ever read. I can't remember how much I've told you about this book before, but I'll get a good start on it before I tell you more. I think I read a little bit to you at the beginning. It's been so long ago since I started this vlog that I don't even remember. But I've got another book in the works that I got from the library that's also really short. And it's called A Psalm for the Wild-Built, which apparently is really famous on BookTube. And I didn't really realize it, but it's like a sci-fi novel about like a robot monk or something. So it sounds kind of funny too. So we'll read this one and then we'll probably check into that one. So tomorrow my goal is to hopefully read all of this book. Okay, just a quick little fun update in the kitchen. I made cold brew coffee. It's like Starbucks, and I'm gonna try to make the vanilla sweet cream cold brew. So here's what I made. So I made this vanilla sweet cream, and I made like this little simple syrup that's just sugar and water, and you boil it on the stove, and then you put in vanilla extract. You put a tablespoon of that into some heavy cream and 2% milk, and here we go. We mixed it all together. I want this to be perfect, so I'm gonna literally measure 8 ounces of coffee. Yes, all my liquid measuring cups are dirty. Can I even pour this from this? Let's find out. Ooh, I'm just gonna go for it. Okay. All right, 8 ounces of coffee. And now we're gonna pour in our sweet cream. Let's see if it looks like it does at Starbucks when they pour it. Oh, it does. Look how satisfying. It was all swirly there for a second. All right, let's stir. And now let's do our taste test. I know there's no way that this is gonna be as good as Starbucks. It's not as sweet as I thought it was gonna be. It's not bad. I'm gonna add a little more of the simple syrup and then we're gonna go from there. But I am 25% into Vinyl Moon and it's fine, it's like it's there. I'm just gonna go ahead and read it just to be done with it and hopefully I'll finish it today. Definitely if I drink all this coffee. We are back in bed because that's where I seem to update you. But I told you that I did start reading Vinyl Moon. I hope you can even see this. It's so dark in here, but I like the purple, so we're gonna go with it. Anyway, I read 25% of this last night and it's fine. The only thing I actually didn't really like about it, or the rest of it was just meh. The one thing I didn't like is the like poetry or raps or whatever that the main character supposedly has written. They aren't very good. Like they're not good. I didn't like those at all. But the rest of it's fine. It's not my kind of story. I could see where students would like this and it is really short, but I'm just not into it because I'm a fantasy sort of person. And I just got done reading One of Us is Lying, mostly on audio from that I did for another vlog. And so I'm so done with just like realistic fiction. So I decided to DNF this at 25%, which kind of ruined my how many books can I read thing. But there's no point in reading this. So it's not for me. It's not that it's a bad book. I mean, it's fine. Most people seem to give it 3 or 4 stars on Goodreads. But what I did do is I am at 21 hours and 13 minutes, and I am going to finish this like tomorrow. I think the big update is that I actually would rather read bigger books right now. I was so excited to read a bunch of small books because I got burnt out on big books, but now I'm burnt out on little books and I want like a big long story. So I don't know what I want apparently, or maybe I just like switching back and forth. But I did start and got halfway through this today, and I'm gonna almost finish it probably right now before I go to bed, and I'll finish it in the morning. But a psalm for the wild built, a monk and robot book by Becky Chambers, and it's like sci-fi, and it's so weird. I cannot even describe to you the weirdness of this book. You just have to be up for it basically as you read it. I can't even tell you what it's about. It's about a futuristic world. It's like it's called Panga. I don't know, Panga. And there are robots that have been there for centuries that gained awareness. They sort of wandered off though, and they were never seen from again. So now it says they have faded kind of into myth and legend, but one day there's a monk who decides he doesn't want to be a monk anymore. Well, it's not he. They go by they. They use the pronoun they, which actually gets kind of confusing in this because you're like, wait, is it more than one person? But no, it's just this one person. Their name is Dex, and they decide they don't want to be a monk anymore, and that they want to go and serve people tea. So they go and do that. And then they decide they don't even want to serve people tea, and then they want to go on an adventure. And while they're on this adventure, they run into this robot, and they make a deal with the robot to kind of help each other. And that's where I'm at. It's so weird. It sort of reminds me of that book Remote Control that I read, because there's just some weird stuff and you just have to go for it. It's nothing like this, but it just kind of reminds me of like Piranesi by Susanna Clark, just because it's another book where it was short and you just have to read it and just sort of go with it, and it's super weird. I can't even describe how weird this is, but it's really good. I like the writing. I think there's going to be some good themes in here and like things that relate to the real world and real life, and some good lessons to learn. So I'm excited to see what I learn from it and if I get something out of it. But it says this book felt like a warm cup of tea made by someone who loves me. So it's funny, thoughtful, touching, sweet, and one of the most humane books I've read in a long time. We could all use a read like this right now. This is a book that for one night made me stop asking, what am I even here for? I'm prescribing a pre-order to anyone who has ever felt lost, stunning, kind, and necessary. So high praise as well. But I hear Becky Chambers is really good, so I'm going to have to check out her other work. But I'm going to go finish this, and then I'll update you, and hopefully I'll be almost done with these 24 hours. Well, I just had a horrifying realization that I never finished this vlog. It's just been sitting around. Sorry, the Robo-Rock thing is running in the background too. I have really just done a terrible job with filming this video. I finished A Psalm for the Wild Built. I gave it 4 stars or 4.5. No, I think just 4.25 we'll say. And I'm going to definitely continue the series because I really enjoyed it. It was just fun. It was warm. It was cozy. I don't know. It was fun. I really enjoyed it. It is not at all what I expected. The sci-fi elements almost don't even matter in it, if that makes any sense at all, because the plot and stuff and the dialogue and what they talk about, especially at the end, the conversations that they have are so good. So anyway, yes, I'm definitely going to continue that. So of the ones I'm continuing, by the way, I did read some more Grady Hendrix since I filmed that vlog, because it's been forever. I've just not finished it out for some reason and updated and actually uploaded it. But I did read Horror Store by Grady Hendrix, and I liked it decently well. Not as good as My Best Friend's Exorcism, which I still really like in retrospect. And I'm actually reading a Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires right now, and I'm like a fourth of the way through it, and I like it too, which is set in the same universe and right down the street from My Best Friend's Exorcism. It's not a sequel though or anything, but it is kind of in the same universe. So that's really fun. And I'm going to read the next Disney After Dark book, or Kingdom Keepers. What's it called? Why can't I remember this? Kingdom Keepers. I don't know. I can't remember. Kingdom Keepers. There we go. I'm going to read the next book in that series eventually. I'm just not like super thrilled. Definitely going to read the next book in the Wayward Children series by Sean McGuire. Definitely going to read the next Monk and Robot book by Becky Chambers. So I've definitely found some like good 4-star reads. I only had the one DNF. Final Moon was my only DNF, which I should have known not to even pick that book up. That was my fault. I knew it wasn't something I would be interested in. So yeah, the rest, I mean, I really enjoyed my time reading these books. I am definitely more in the mood for bigger books now. I think if anything, I've learned that I don't want to burn myself out on reading a bunch of big books or a bunch of small books. So the lesson is alternate the two, and it'll be okay. So thank you guys so much for watching this epically long vlog. I hope it's somewhat entertaining. I was watching it back and realizing it's half just me making drinks, half me sitting in about a third. A third of it's me making drinks. A third of it's me sitting in a purple room updating you on books, and the other third's me talking about how tired I am and, you know, about running and the baby and stuff like that. So anyway, it's not a very exciting vlog, but hopefully this was at least somewhat interesting. I hope to one day do a true 24-hour reading vlog where I read for 24 hours straight. Will I ever get time with the baby and he's always sick and school's going to be starting again? I don't know. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you again soon. Also, let me know if you've read any of these books and what you thought. So I will talk to you later. Bye.